Jeffrey's going to be talking about Marketing Suite, the project you've been working on for at least 2 years now.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly impressive. Every time I've seen it, I've been blown away. So I'm really looking forward to this. As I mentioned, it's not the end of the day just yet. Stick around. There's still another hour to go and loads more fun to be had. But Jeffrey, take it away.
Yes, I will. Thank you for staying up this late because it's 8 in the evening here. And I'm going to talk about the Marketing Suite. And I'm going to do a lot or a big demo. My name is Schoemaker. I'm the owner of Perplex Digital, but I also co-founded the Marketing Suite. And because you all love PowerPoint, I have a few PowerPoint slides, but I'm going to talk about the all-in-one Marketing Suite for Umbraco. We're going to look at digital analytics, A/B testing, personalization, and some profiling. But I know you don't like PowerPoints at the end of the day, so it's demo time. And I have an objective set for myself. We're going to use an Umbraco website, and we're going to create a fully personalized experience within 20 minutes. So let's look at the clock. It's 5 minutes past 8. So give me 20 minutes, and I'm going to do some fantastic stuff. I've installed the starter kit, and this starter kit is the starter kit that vendor ships. It's created by Matt Brailsford, and it's really fantastic. I could have picked the starter kit of Umbraco as well, but I chose to put it on this website. It's a simple web shop. You have items, you have products, you can add them to the cart, etc. And if you look at the back office, it's just your average Umbraco website. Nothing fancy over here. Of course, there's a lot of fancy commerce stuff in this fantastic web shop. Ooh, I got locked out, but no problem here. But it is just your average web shop or your average website. So I'm gonna install the Marketing Suite and create a personalized version. This is the solution, and the only thing you have to do is go to NuGet and look for the Marketing Suite. Built on top of the Umbraco CMS. And what we're now doing is adding the magic of the Marketing Suite on top of that website as well. And that includes data analytics, A/B testing, personalization, and profiles. So it's something you install on top of the Marketing Suite or on top of your Umbraco website, and can be done at the start of a project. We recommend that usually, but also can be done on a running website. Let's look at NuGet. NuGet is still gathering information, so that gives me some time to look at the next slide, because of course I'm not doing this on my own. I'm a really bad developer, but luckily, and also a really bad designer and a really bad project manager, but I have a fantastic team. And this is only a small part of the team, because whole Perplex is supporting this product, but these 6 guys are helping me to create a fantastic Marketing Suite. So thank you that I'm the person that can sit here and you can do all the hard work. And here NuGet finally found the package, and we're now installing it. Still the time is ticking, I know. I want to override everything. 70 minutes left. Hopefully Matt Brailsford is looking at this moment as well, and he can confirm, hopefully on Twitter or something, that this is just his regular website. I've did no magic at all at this moment, but we're gonna add some magic. Still installing. That gives me some time to also thank the Deugdboard. I see Henk from over here. He's not looking at me, but I think he's getting some compliments. Thank you for a fantastic day. I'm filling the gap during the install. Thank you also Arnold. I don't think he's here, but he's somewhere. Thank you for organizing it, because I've been behind the scenes all day and it's really complex to have something like this up and running. So thank you. In the meantime, this has finished. We've installed the Marketing Suite, and that is everything you need to do. I'm gonna rebuild the project for a moment. And just one more thing, we're giving away one free license for 12 months for the best question at the end. And I'm not gonna pick the best question, Callum. We'll pick the best question at the end, and we're gonna give away that prize. Time is ticking, 4 minutes. If we now refresh the website, I've installed the Marketing Suite via NuGet, did nothing else. And we're refreshing Umbraco. We're gonna look in the top bar, and hopefully, yes, we see a marketing section. And this is what the Marketing Suite is. I did one trick up front. I already copied in the license file, but this is the Marketing Suite. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna personalize the experience on the website. Once again, we go, for example, to the home page. And now you see we have 3 content apps installed. We have analytics, and you see I've been busy this today. Oh no, it's just a fresh install. I'm gonna refresh the page, so that's a new page visit. And when you reload the back office, you will see if everything loads. Oh, demo gods, yeah, thank you. That we got more page views than before. We have a lot of data within it. For example, browser data. Up to now I did it with Firefox. If I'm opening this the Chrome browser as well. Hopefully the switching is okay for everyone. Nobody's epileptic. And we're going to refresh this data as well. You will see within the back office, registered by the Marketing Suite, the data of the browser. And here you see Chrome. This is all done by Wouter's query engine, a huge part of the Marketing Suite. But that's not interesting at the moment, because we're going to personalize the experience. We're going to go to the Personalization content app. And here we see that we can set up personalized variants. And the Marketing Suite now tells me, dude, there are no segments configured at this moment. And before you can start personalizing your website, you should add some segments. Because we're gonna put visitors in segments, and depending on the segments, we're gonna serve different content. So here we go to the Marketing Suite, to the segment section. And here we can add a new segment. And here we're gonna determine which visitor falls in which segment. So for example, I can say I want to create a segment, which is a really dumb segment, but it's okay for the demo, called Firefox users. Here we have parameters that we can select, and that determines which person or visitor goes to which segment. Because I only visited the website with Chrome and Firefox, these are the only 2 segments that I see. When you see new browsers appearing, when new visitors come by. For now, I'm gonna create a segment only for Firefox. I'm gonna save the parameter and add the segment. Job done. Everyone browsing with a Firefox browser is going to be put in this segment. Now I'm going back to the content, because I want to personalize the website, in this case for Firefox users. Okay, let's add one. And it says, okay, but you forgot another thing. You need to allow segmentation for this document type in order to segment the web page. It helps you. It says, okay, add this document type. And because we installed the Marketing Suite on an Umbraco 8.7 website or higher, we have a new shiny button. Ooh, I hear ooh by Callum as well. Allow segmentation. If you check that, we can create properties that can be segmented. So if we go back to the property editor, familiar for most of the developers, I'm going to the title, for example, I can allow segmentation on that as well. For example, also on the featured products. And you, as an implementer, decide which properties should be segmented. I added some properties as well over here. I'm going to allow segmentation on those as well. I'm going to save this. I've updated the document type, and for the final time, I'm going to set up my personalized variant. First, I'm going to pick the segment, the Firefox users. I'm going to call it Firefox users. And here the magic happens. We have a split view. The left one is the default one, the original one that you see over here. Oh my God, demo gods. Oh no, I know what's going wrong, because this one is still working, yes. But here I'm going to create another title, products for Firefox users. I'm going to pick a few products, and I'm going to save and preview that. And here we see we're in preview mode now. This is how the website will look for Firefox users. I've saved it, I can publish it as well. And now if I go to the website with my Firefox browser, we see a different view than somebody's who is visiting the website in Chrome, for example. That is personalization. Cool! Thank you. And this is also fixed. And it's not only working on the homepage, but because, for example, we had a text add to cart. If you go to a product detail page, you see your add to cart. I'm overriding this. Firefox user, put it in your cart. I'm going to take a different color button. I'm going to save and publish it. And this is still working. And when I go to this web page, I see a different text. And I didn't write any code. We're just using the code that was already built. Matt Brailsford was using Models Builder, and we don't have to write any code to create experiences like these. And that is what personalization is all about. So that's pretty cool, or super cool. And it also works in a whole different way. If you go, for example, to a product. This is a product page. And we can set this up for segmentation as well. We're going to do that. We're going to segment this. We're going to segment the title of the product. Once again, you determine what you want to segment. And not only text string, also media pickers, for example. I'm going to set it up for segmentation. I'm going to go back to this breakfast set. And I'm going to say, okay, for Firefox users, for example, I'm going to name it the same way. We have a different title. Firefox users drink tea for breakfast. I don't know. I'm not that creative anymore at the end of the day. And we had an image over here, but maybe you want a different image for this segment. For example, you want, I don't know, this picture. You want a detail of the picture. Removing that. Gonna preview this. I'm gonna publish this. Demo gods, work with me. No, they won't. They won't. Why they won't? Just doing a little bit of fooling around just to be sure. Yes. Don't care, don't mind. It's live demo. Nothing's broken. But we see this personalization. So if somebody with Firefox is going to this page, they're rendering this, and somebody in Chrome is seeing this. So you can personalize the website experience based on the segment where somebody is. And not only over here, because this you could do with AB or Google Optimize as well. You put in some CSS and JavaScript, you see some flickering, you see a different image, different title. But the cool thing is, everywhere this property is rendered, for example in an overview page, and we're gonna find it somewhere, for sure. Yes, there it is. There it's rendered as well. Also, if you put it in your cart, and you go to the cart overview page, that's rendering right now, you will see it over here as well. So without writing any code, you can personalize the experience. That is super cool. You can create segments based on different parameters. We have the browser, we have a device type, we have time of day, and we have more coming soon. But what is even cooler, we also have some something called implicit personalization, and that's way cooler. Because if you install the uMarketing suite, you get a customer journey and personas, and these are default ones, but you can edit them. So for example, people who love coffee are visiting our website. Coffee drinkers. And we also have tea drinkers, because they are different. We're gonna delete these ones for a moment. Yes. Then we have coffee drinkers and tea drinkers, and we're gonna annotate everything people are doing on the website and scoring the content based on these personas. So for example, we had a few products like this fantastic coffee that is truly are super relevant for coffee drinkers. And I'm going super fast, but I had only 20 minutes. And I thought I started 5 minutes after 8, so I have 4 minutes left to create it, so I can sit back, but I will go on. We're gonna score this page for coffee drinkers. And thanks to the algorithm of the uMarketing suite, it will now say, okay, if somebody visits this website, it's getting 10 points on the persona coffee drinkers. I also have here another type of coffee, Arabica. I'm gonna score the content as well on this one. For example, 10 over here. And I think I have an accessory as well, a copper-coated coffee dripper. Sounds super cool. And when people go to these accessories, they get a score. So for example, if they're looking for coffee, and the website loads, we see coffee, and these people are visiting this coffee page or coffee product. They're scoring on the section coffee. Cool, super cool. But the sweet thing is, I'm gonna disable this Firefox personalization for a moment, because that makes it really awkward. And now visit the homepage as a Firefox user again. I see the normal content, yes. But I can create a new segment. And this segment is a segment for coffee drinkers. I'm gonna score it on the persona. Here are the 2 personas that I've created. So I have coffee drinkers, for example, but I could have picked more. I can also combine, for example, coffee drinkers that are on a mobile after 8 o'clock. Maybe they need caffeine or something like that. I need to add in a description. And what I now can do, the algorithm determines when somebody is a coffee drinker because we've scored the content. So if we go back to the content tree, and for example to the home page, we can create a new personalized variant for coffee drinkers. We're gonna go to the split view again, which still is super cool. And here we have featured products, for example, but in this case, real coffee drinkers order these products. I don't know. Of course, we want to show the coffee products like these. Can submit it, save and publish, save and publish. And now when I go to the home page, I see only coffee because I visited things that were annotated by coffee before. So that's super cool. That's a personalized experience based on the behavior of a anonymous visitor. Also in Chrome, I still see these products on the home page. Then I'm looking for coffee. Ah, super. Coffee, coffee, coffee. I'm gonna look at this coffee as well. And now, when I'm returning to the home page, I see coffee because I've scored the content. The algorithm put you in a segment, and we created a segment or a personalized variant for this segment. That is super cool. I'm gonna do a little trick because we have a fantastic documentation website. And we've created a cockpit to explain the algorithm a bit. And the only thing I have to do is copy paste this code for a moment. I'm gonna put that in my master template. And if I'm logged into Umbraco and I visit the website again, I get the access to a cockpit. It's over here. It's a small icon of the marketing suite. And if you open that up, you get access to some additional data that we have. We have server-side data. We know you're on a Firefox browser, on a desktop, from this IP. I'm on localhost. How many pages did I visit and how many sessions did I see? I'm gonna delete the cookie for a moment. Now the marketing suite cookie is gone and I'm a new visitor. Probably I'm gonna see one visit, one session. But I'm also seeing the segments that I'm in. Well, I'm a Firefox user, but not a coffee drinker yet. But you also see the personas and the customer journey at this moment. To make it a bit more fun or realistic, I'm also scoring the customer journey for this moment, so you see some different things. This doesn't make any sense, but it's good for the example. So when I'm going to the home page, I will score the customer journey. You will see, okay, I'm in this phase, that's relevant. But if I'm going to the coffee section for once more, nothing happens, but I scored this product. So if I'm going to this page, you will see, I'm getting points for the coffee. Don't have any idea why it's scoring twice, because I gave it 10 points and now it's showing 20, but those are the demo guts again. And I'm scoring. So you can see what the algorithm is doing, and now the algorithm says, okay, you're an active, or the coffee drinker persona is active at this moment. If you once look at the segments, you will see, I'm in this segment, and that's why I see a personalized version of the homepage again. Is that all you are asking me because you're out of your 20 minutes? Well, let me show you one more thing, and that's that we're having a lot, or that we even have more data. And then I have to look for it always. Yes, there it is. We also measuring client-side data if you add in our script. And once again, for the person with the best question, you get a total free license for 12 months. And Callum is deciding, so maybe you can be really nice to him. I've added in a snippet of code, one JavaScript file. You get it from us, you can use it. And what you now see is that we have client-side reporting as well. We have the time on the page, when was the page loaded, and what time is it now. But you also see engaged time on page. Because at this moment I'm talking to the camera, but I'm not really using the website. But as soon as I start scrolling again, then it's measuring again. And also if I'm on the different browser or in different browser tab, I'm doing stuff here, but I'm not really active in this page. But as soon as I get active again, the engaged time is scoring again. So it's a better implementation of time on page, in our opinion. We're also looking for the max scroll depth, and we're storing that. And also, I don't know, yeah, there it is. I'm at this moment at 48%, and if I scroll down, I'm measuring, okay, this person scrolled all the way down, and I can use these data points again to create segments to personalize finally. Also things like outclicks. I'm clicked out to this website. We're measuring that. I added in some a small snippet of code, and you have to look over here. We're measuring when you're clicking that. The implementation of this website is that it reloads data. But all these kind of things work out of the box without writing any code. So I only have had 20 minutes, but I hope I convinced you that the marketing suite is really magical. If you add it to your website, you can create personalized experience within minutes. And if you're having an Umbraco 8 website, this is really a package, in my opinion, that you should check out. And that's what the demo is about.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm very impressed. I have to say, I have the biggest dev crush on you and the Perplex team's work, because every single thing I've seen from you has been truly phenomenal. And every time I've seen a demo of the marketing suite, it's been the exact same thing.
Thanks.
It blows me away. There's been so many great questions in the chat. I also have some questions that I'd like to ask. So, firstly, segmentation was a feature that you worked on at Perplex, but is actually somewhat in core. Is that correct?
Yeah. We created the APIs together with Umbraco HQ. So everybody can use the APIs, but we did a front end on top of that.
Your front end implementation.
Yep.
So the side-by-side editor, is that your implementation, or is that something that's actually in core for segments?
In core for segments.
Wow, okay, fantastic. Yep. Bear in mind, everyone, whilst I'm asking these questions, keep getting your questions in for Jeffrey, because we're going to go through them. There's quite a lot, but I think someone wants to win this prize, and it's definitely worth it. So those segments are then in the content cache, in new cache, just like any other content item?
I hope I'm not saying anything wrong, but yes.
Okay, fine. So they should just be stored like normal content.
Yep.
And they're accessed through the normal APIs, which means, as you showed, a normal site that you've not done anything with, you can drop your marketing suite into, and it works.
Because of the power of models builder and our own algorithm that we put onto it, it's just working out of the box.
And I assume I could fetch a segment using the standard model.value and passing the segment parameter. Great.
But even without the segment parameter,
because you've got the segment provider in there or something.
Exactly.
Very, very good. And can I use a segment alongside a variant?
A language variant.
A language variant.
Yes.
So you could have different values for different language variants.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like opening a whole world of possibilities.
It is. It is. So for your multilingual installation, and you have a Dutch and a French website, for example, in Belgium.
Yeah.
You can also create a personalized variant of only the French variant.
Wow.
Or only the Dutch variant, or on both. And if you're making it crazy, you can also A/B test it. But
yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. That's amazing. And so you showed there that basically any statistic that you're gathering about a user, any analytic metric, you can then use to segment users. Is that right? So because I've visited in Chrome and Firefox, that they are available metrics, but then if I added Safari to that mix, it would become an available metric.
If somebody visited the website with a Safari browser, the analytics engine is storing Safari as well, and then it's the option for you.
And could I create custom rules?
Not at this moment, but I think there's a sprint in November called developer extensibility, because then we're opening it up.
Yeah.
We're prepared for that, but we have to document it and test it.
I'd love to be able to say this user came from this email campaign, and therefore we want to.
Well, and that works out of the box, but if you have access to our CRM data, for example, that the marketing suite isn't aware of, you can implement functions and just say, okay, because in the end the parameters are returning true or false. Are you complying with this parameter and are you falling in that segment?
Yeah.
And then it's opening up endless possibilities in our
Very good. Yeah. And then the final thing, my jaw was nearly on the floor when you showed the active time on page versus real time spent on page.
Yeah.
And that was super interesting to me. Does that data get posted back to your marketing suite, or is that all client side?
No, it's measured client side, and when the page unloads or some kind of beacon is sent at the end,
it posts back.
Yeah, exactly, and then it's stored in the database, and you can reuse it later.
Okay, wow. So actually some of the questions we had in the chat were around what other marketing platforms do, and I will openly admit I'm not a marketer, and I don't really build systems like this for huge marketing departments that want a lot of flexibility. For me, that all just clicks and it makes loads of sense.
Yep.
And it's not in a developer way, just in a kind of user-friendly way. It seems like you've done a fantastic job there. A few people were asking questions around how this compares to other marketing platforms. One of them being is it all server-side, or can it be some front-end, some client-side stuff too, or is it loading heavy, nasty JavaScript libraries on the front end? Does it rely on that? Seems like you've got choice there.
Yep, you have the choice, and by default we're measuring it server side, and we've been looking to make it compatible with hardcore or stuff like that, and that should be possible, but it's not on our focus right now. But as long as you send the events and the data, we can store it in our way, and you have the reporting opportunities within the back office of Umbraco.
Wow, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
We have a question from Andy who says, if there is a change is there a change to any of the config files, the core configuration that ships with Umbraco out of the box, that would make your marketing suite, do something different?
No.
No. So it's just a vanilla Umbraco install.
Yes.
The standard config, nothing special.
No.
Wow. Okay. Great.
And the only thing it only works on a SQL Server instance. So if you're sitting right now at your laptop and you have a website running on Umbraco 8, preferably 8.7 if you want to use the split view, but on a Umbraco 8.2 or higher website, you can install your marketing suite just like I did, and it will work out of the box and won't do anything to your Umbraco installation.
Very, very good. Carl asks, how much load does this add on top of Umbraco to the kind of, on top of the standard load? Obviously you're doing some analytics in there, so it's going to be a little bit more than the usual request.
Hopefully as minimal as possible. I don't know if it's possible to see my screen again.
Could we get Jeffrey's screen up again?
Yes. Hank, yes you can. Let's dance the night away. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, I know. Because we have a settings section, I will talk before we see the screen.
Sure.
And there we have statistics where we're showing, oh now the demo guys are mad because I was dancing on live screen. We have data on the processing speed, and this should be around 50 milliseconds or something like that. And we also have a configuration file where you can have a lot of different options. Like for example, how fast does it flush the data that's collected to the database? For the demo, I put it on 1, so every hit is directly written to the database, but you can also set it to 1,000, so it collects 1,000 page views in memory and then flushes it directly to the database for efficiency and performance reasons.
That's really interesting, because Eric actually asked a very similar question about how much data is stored. Can you control that? So I assume the database is just going to grow indefinitely until it's full.
Yeah.
But can you set storage requirements against that?
Yes, because we have GDPR, and in Europe we need to be regulated. How much data do you store and how long do you store it? So we have the option to anonymize data. we've put it on 2 years by default, and after 4 years we're deleting it. But if you want to do that for 30 days, for example, for whatever reason, you can set it in the config file. You only see it here, but this is a reflection of the config file. And also again on the statistics tab, you will see the table size of the raw data table. That's not processed yet. That's always bigger than the processed data because that's stored more efficiently. The raw data is stored very fast, and then we're going to process it later. And you will also see the table size, in this case a new install, it's really limited. So you have control over how long you store the raw data, but normally that processes within 10 seconds or 30 seconds depending on the threshold you've set. And then it's becoming processed data, and that's super fast.
Fantastic. That actually answers another one of the questions about how does this compare to other marketing platforms, because as Carl rightfully said, a lot of these platforms do offline processing of data later.
Yep.
So what you're doing here is you've got this fast access, fast write data store that you're storing everything in, and then later you kind of archive it for your analytics and all of that.
Exactly. And you have the control over the parameters, because normally you set them to low value so you have immediate feedback, but on a high traffic website you can put it differently, and you can also specify a different connection. So for example, if you don't want to store it on the same database server for whatever reason, because of performance for example, you can put all the tables of the marketing suite in another database, only applying another connection name, and that works out of the box.
Fantastic. And so your colleague Leon's actually been answering some questions in the chat as well. Similar.
He cannot win, by the way, Leon, if he's asking
Leon will
anything.
not win. About separating the database out and stuff, so that
Yep.
looks really awesome. A lot of people saying Cockpit looks really slick, and I agree, that looks fantastic. The final question, I've got 2 more questions I want to highlight because I know we're definitely over time. One from Brian here, which is there an easy integration to share data with other marketing automation software like Salesforce or Pardot?
We're created the marketing suite on the same concepts as Umbraco. So you can extend it, you can plug into it. Maybe not everything yet, but if you give us some feedback what you want to achieve, then we can definitely make that happen, because the data is in the database, but you can hook into events to do whatever you want. Whether it's connecting to your CRM to write data or to read data to create segments, the sky is the limit in our opinion.
Fantastic. And the final question I wanted to ask, which is kind of the $1 million question, were there any technical constraints that you hit whilst building your marketing suite, whether it was the recent segmentation features or actually just across the board? Any technical hurdles you've come across that prevented you from doing something really, really awesome?
No, not really, because we've been in contact with HQ a lot of times, and they were really helpful, and I know they are limited on time as well, but they were really helpful. And we began with the end in mind. We knew what we wanted to achieve, and HQ could give us feedback on how we're going to achieve that. And we created some parts of it open source, so others can use that as well. And then we were depending on Umbraco 8.7 to be released, and we hope that was any sooner than this, but now it's there. And now we can use the full power of the marketing suite.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to cheat a little bit here, and I've chosen my winner. And it's not a question I read out, partly for time, but also Leon has responded to this and said, no, but that's a great idea. And it's from Jason Prothero in the US, so congratulations Jason, you are the winner. His question was, do the stats take recency into account, so you have some kind of decay over time?
Yeah.
And no, but it would be
It's
really
an
awesome.
excellent idea.
Really awesome to see.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. This was possibly my favorite talk of the day. I've enjoyed geeking out with you afterwards as well.